So that's what I feel like, separates the average from the greats.
100%. I joined the gym because my sister, she went to the gym and she lost like around 40 kilos.
What matters is how far can you go.
My grandmom was a Padma Bhushan.
And Padma Shri. I had a coach, okay? Like he was my friend and also my coach. I was thin, so I realized I need to be in shape.
In case Whole Truth is seeing this, please get in touch with Visualjox.
So hello, welcome to the first episode of Caffeinated with Visualjox. Today on our first episode, we have a very special guest, my old friend Nikunj. Rele. Nikunj, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. So good to have you on our first ever episode. Yeah, so nice place by the way, just for the record.
Thank you.
So yeah, how would you like to introduce yourself? Please introduce yourself to our audience.
So, guys, I am a fitness coach and a nutritionist. I've been in this industry for approximately now almost 7 years. And Vishal and I met very. We were destined to meet on the football pitch because we share our passion, which is football.
Yeah.
And we met at trials and we were basically competing for the same spot. And
ये कौन जीता वो भी पता.
Vishal jeeta more time, but the coaches were not paying attention in the center. I was making some good passes, but he didn't notice me.
Yeah, and actually also just for the record, I played at the wrong position, guys.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, we met I think in 2019.
2019.
And we've been friends since.
Yeah.
So that's my introduction. We met, we played football, and we've been in touch since now 4 years.
Yeah. So Nikunj, like you said, you're a fitness trainer for almost 7 years now. So just एक candidly अगर पूछने गए, so what are the best highs of being a fitness trainer and what are the lowest lows of being the fitness trainer?
The best high, one of the best highs of being a fitness trainer is not having to wear your formal corporate office wear. But that's like one of the perks.
But it counts. But it counts.
Yeah, I don't have to dress up and meet people I don't like. So that's definitely one of the biggest highs. Another thing is it's very fulfilling because you are making a very big impact in other people's lives. अगर कोई पहले बहुत अनफिट है और अभी because of your intervention उनका पूरा life बदल गया. It's very rewarding to be part of that change.
Yeah, and it's like a wholesome journey that you get to witness.
Yeah.
अगर कोई client है and let's say you have made their transformation, so it's definitely a very wholesome journey to be along with them through their highs and lows, because it's not an easy journey, right?
It never is.
Weight lose भी करना है, gain भी करना है, कुछ भी. They are not easy mentally. So you have to be with them through their highs and lows.
Yeah, you go through the journey as like one team, and you end up experiencing similar sort of barriers and challenges that your client faces, and you have to tackle it through their point of view.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting because every client is not the same. It's always a different journey for different people. So it's always interesting. You end up building a very good relationship with whatever client you are dealing with.
So from what I can tell is that now you have had your formal education in fitness and coaching, all of those programs.
Yeah.
But what I feel from since the time that I've known you is that you are into fitness specifically because you want to promote healthy habits into people. Is it because you want to uplift people and get to their best version? Is it something like that? Or what exactly is your motive, like for getting into fitness specifically?
So I was a very very unfit kid. I would go to Subway and end up having everything but the veggies in the Subway sandwich. So it would be just cheese, chicken, all the sauces.
Yeah, but Subway is sick. I love Subway.
Yeah, but it will be sickly if you eat the way I ate back in the day. So I would eat a lot of junk food. I would get bullied in school because I was fat.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was a bad time. But as everyone goes through some sort of bullying in their childhood, that being fat shamed and made fun of was part of my journey. And like I understand where people are coming from, especially if they're unfit. Because I know the mindset, or I have an idea of the sort of problems they would end up facing at some point in time in their life. So them wanting to change their current scenario is what drives me to help them,
Okay.
because I can see myself in them as well.
तो फिटनेस इज समथिंग दैट शुड बी इनकलकेटेड इन एवरीवन, या फिर वो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि नहीं भाई मैं मोटा हूँ या मैं पतला हूँ, देन ओनली आई शुड टेक फिटनेस सीरियसली. सो
No.
व्हाट्स योर टेक ऑन इट?
I think fitness is something that everyone needs in their life, be it a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old. It is going to improve the quality of your life multifold. So, regardless of when you start, the most important thing is shuru karna hai. Because in your later life, there is going to be inevitable degradation of the body. मतलब आर्थराइटिस हो या कोई डिजीज आ जाए, लाइफस्टाइल डिजीज, तो उसको मैनेज करना इज गोइंग टू बी मच easier if you are already into some sort of fitness or exercise, or making sure that your life is getting better over a period of time.
Got it. So now, see, I'll tell you one thing. अभी मेरे personal point of view से, where I come from, my family has, all of these unhealthy habits. Like my mom likes to munch on snacks all day while looking at TV series, while looking at YouTube. And in generally, मतलब मेरा ऐसा observation है कि Indian audience जो है, they are not that much into fitness. Rather, they don't take fitness very seriously. So उन लोग को पसंद रहेगा कि नहीं यार मैं रोज शाम को बाहर जाऊं, सेव पूरी खाऊं, दही पूरी खाऊं, समथिंग लाइक दैट. दे आर एडिक्टेड टू चाट एंड ऑल ऑफ दोस फास्ट फूड आइटम्स. सो इज इट अ वेरी बिग हर्डल फॉर यू गाइज एज फिटनेस ट्रेनर्स टू ओवरकम कि नहीं भाई, क्योंकि यू वोंट गेट द आइडियल क्लाइंट, राइट? इफ यू हैव गॉट समवन हु इज ओवरवेट, डेफिनेटली इज नॉट एन आइडियल पर्सन. उसका लाइफस्टाइल उसी से समझ जाता है. So do you think it's a very big hurdle for help them overcome that specific thing to change their habits? Because from my observation, changing anybody's habits is a huge challenge.
I feel like ideal clients, they don't exist. All clients, in my opinion, are the same. Only the amount of effort that you have to put in terms of changing a certain habit or certain actions, थोड़ा ज़्यादा करना पड़ता है कि थोड़ा कम करना पड़ता है. That's the difference between client 1 and client 2.
अच्छा.
I feel like, eating wrong food, eating chat, or eating a plate full of high amounts of carbs and fat is a very normal thing in India. And
But really, because see, sorry to cut you off, पर अगर हम देखते हैं कि पूरा जो वर्ल्ड के जो रैंकिंग्स है एंड ऑल द नंबर्स दैट कम आउट एवरी ईयर, यूएसए इज द वन ऑफ द मोस्ट ओबीस स्टेट्स. अभी इंडिया, आई डोंट नो व्हाट द रैंक इज, बट इट्स स्टिल वन ऑफ द वेरी हाई high ranked countries when it comes to obesity. So do you really think it's limited to India and India itself, or do you think like that's a very special reason why we observe the people
so there
who are unfit?
There are certain studies in the past which have indicated कि Indians प्रोटीन बहुत कम खाते हैं और carbs और fats obviously ज़्यादा खाते हैं.
That's true.
And over and above that, Indians, especially the South Asian community, is more prone to getting diabetic because they don't have enough muscle mass in their body.
Okay.
So that means India is one of the leading countries for diabetes. So of course, यहाँ पे it is a much more necessary sort of intervention that needs to be taken for changing your entire country's health condition or fitness condition. Changing especially that snacking sort of habit in Indians is definitely a big requirement.
That's a big hurdle as well.
It's a big hurdle.
See, even if we leave right now from where you live, हम 2 कदम 4 कदम पे जाए, there will be a chaat counter or there will be some vada pav wala. हाँ, exactly. So despite being a fitness trainer, you might snack once or twice, like in 1-2 months, something like that. So this is a very big hurdle क्योंकि इंडिया का जो इकोनॉमी भी है, they are hugely based on these local vendors.
Correct.
So how do you help people get over the desire to eat outside every month, every day, like every week?
I think it's more based on them understanding what foods are non-negotiable and what foods they should, or food items or snacks or whatever they should try and limit, if not cut out completely. So it is, I think, almost like a mandatory step in changing their life for them to understand, you know what, paneer, dahi, chicken, fish, eggs, these foods are very, very good for me. And these foods will help me manage my cravings a lot better than just having chapati bhaji, dal chawal, and then going out and having a plate of 6 pani puris just to feel full. So yeah,
Yeah, because pani puris are never enough.
yeah, then never enough. People are going to have 6, 12.
There's no limit.
No limit. So I feel, yeah, educating them on what foods work for them is a very, very big requirement.
And so, see, like you said, now I'm pretty much into fitness. Like I go to the gym regularly, as you can tell.
I see
Yeah.
that. I'm very happy about
Yeah, yeah, because you were the first one of the very first guys who pushed this habit into me to get into the gym. Because I was very thin, and I was into football.
Yeah.
Like we both were into football, but the thing is, you pushed me to get in shape because I always thought कि football खेलना है तो भाई physique का क्यों जरूरत है? I just need to be quick, I just need to be fast, I just need to be agile. But you were one of the first guys who told me कि नहीं physique का ऐसा जरूरत है. It's an impact sport, things like that. So that's what like you got me into this habit, and also I had a motive. But for the people who are not into sports or not into athletes, and who love to indulge into the fast food that we were talking about, and also like you mentioned, paneer is important, chicken is important. But when it comes to the majority of Indians, no, like not everyone can include these kind of foods in their daily food habits and lunch, dinner. They can't have paneer all the time, they can't have chicken all the time. So what do you suggest them to do? Like, is it more about their goal, or is it like कि तुम्हारा goal कुछ भी हो तुम यही consume करो because it's healthy?
See, it's like, honestly, these are the main sort of food items that would be the most effective in changing your hunger cravings and also in eliciting some sort of change. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, you would need to do a lot of activities alongside eating right so that you end up getting the body of your dreams or whatever.
Right.
But people who are not having any other motive just apart from getting healthier and fitter, I think these foods are necessary because the other foods are not. For example, dal. Dal is considered a protein item.
हाँ,
or a
protein rich source.
It's
मेरी
not.
मम्मी बोलती रहती है कि कटोरी कटोरी दाल खाओ. It's rich in protein.
Yeah.
It's not feasible.
It's not feasible because the protein that you are consuming is not actually high quality protein.
अच्छा.
In the sense, the body doesn't absorb this same amount of protein that it would from dal versus from say an egg.
Okay.
Because egg is very highly bioavailable for the body to consume. So whenever you eat an egg, you're
Right.
getting 6 grams of protein.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are it will absorb all 6 grams. But when you are having dal, if you're getting 6 grams of protein, but in a bigger katora, which means you're having more calories, you will not be able to absorb that 6 grams of protein. You probably end up absorbing even less than that, maybe less than half.
मतलब when you compare it, compare something like dal to something like paneer or eggs, these foods are easily digestible. Like per gram, if you say, like per egg, I get 6 grams of protein. So it's easier for me to consume one egg rather than a katori of dal. That's what I'm
Because you
saying.
not get the same quality and quantity of protein that you will get in dal
Okay.
versus you get in egg.
Right.
That's why egg turns out to be a better source of protein, which will help you stay satiated and also get more protein out of the food.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why certain food items become non-negotiable. It's like you have to have. It's like a similar practice in, say, trading and stocks. You have to keep investing consistently in similar stocks and scripts so that you get a more consistent positive change in the long run.
So higher returns
Compound.
basically.
Compounding.
Compounding.
Yeah, so if you are eating the same sort of foods for a consistent period of time, you will get a similar, better, positive result.
But see, I get your point. ठीक है, अब ये scientific point of view से I completely agree because I am into it, so I can understand it in a better way. But let's, for example, I'll tell you one thing. अभी मेरे पापा है, ठीक है. Now what I do is I consume protein all day. Now I'll have protein shake in the morning. I'll have protein shake in the evening. Midday में I'll have a protein bar or two. And in my food there's eggs or paneer, something like that. Now what happens is I'm in good shape. Not the best shape, but I'm in good shape. Now my father can see this. But still he gets irritated and agitated with the fact that we only consume protein. Or the maximum amount of the food and the calories that we consume are from protein. And वो उनका मेंटालिटी ऐसा है कि नहीं क्या पूरा टाइम क्या अंडा खा रहे हो, पूरा टाइम क्या प्रोटीन कंज्यूम कर रहे हो, इट्स नॉट गुड फॉर योर हेल्थ, यू नीड कार्ब्स, इंडियन डाइट इज गुड. मतलब उनका वो एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग है बिकॉज दे हैव बीन रेज्ड द सेम वे सिंस 60 years now. So that's their mentality कि नहीं इंडियन फूड इज गुड. एंड दे कीप सेइंग दिस यूजुअल डायलॉग कि भाई हमारा कुछ बिगड़ा क्या ये खा के, then why do you want to consume protein all the time? So how do you handle these situations, or rather what would you suggest to these guys who have all these myths built around Indian diets? I saw one of your videos where you said kids stop eating dal chawal on a regular basis.
Right.
It's not good. I'm sorry to break it out to you.
Right.
But what will you tell to these guys? Because definitely I understand कि तेरे जो clients है you can explain all of this to them scientifically. But if we want to create a change widely, like mass change करना है, तो what would you like to tell these guys?
I feel like that's a difficult challenge to try and overcome because people have their beliefs in place, and changing beliefs or habits takes a lot of effort. So for a mass sort of scale of change, I think you would have to do a lot with having certain food items available to everyone and being able to educate them. But then also it depends on the person if they're willing to listen. अगर उनको सुनना ही नहीं है तो फिर मैं क्या करूँ? It's as good as not putting in your energy in something which is not going to get any result out.
नहीं, but definitely see, I get it when you say कि, for example, if a client approaches you and he expects to help him lose 10 kgs in a period of 2 months, 3 months, which is not that realistic ना, मतलब थोड़ा superficial है. He is delusional, he or she is delusional.
Absolutely.
But you still want to give them a good thought to let's say you don't close that client, but you still want to inculcate something कि हाँ तुम जा रहे हो जाओ, but go with this positive thought कि जो खुद पे भी करो it will be good for your health. What would you like to tell these guys?
Again, I would suggest कि अगर आप ज़्यादा प्रोटीन खा सकते हो, अगर आप predominantly वेज हो, तो very easy way of getting high quality protein is protein powder. Because लोगों को लगता है कि प्रोटीन पाउडर तो स्टेरॉइड्स है, और वो बिल्कुल नहीं है. In fact, it is glorified milk powder.
Yeah.
Because when you are separating milk to make paneer, the water is actually whey.
Yeah.
Whey protein.
Yeah, and a lot of even the people who consume protein powder, even these guys don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys.
Exactly. And whey protein, obviously you can't have the water. It's not processed and filtered enough.
Yeah.
अगर आप खाओगे तो आपके पेट में बहुत प्रॉब्लम होगा.
It's not consumable.
Not consumable. But that water, the whey water, it goes through certain filtration and drying processes, and then it comes to you as powder. But basically, it's come from milk. तो जो आप दूध पीते हो उससे ही आ रहा है, उससे ही बन रहा है whey protein. तो खाने में और कंज्यूम करने में कुछ तकलीफ तो होनी नहीं है.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of different types of processes which make sure कि अगर आप lactose intolerant या sensitive भी हो, आप फिर भी कंज्यूम कर सकते हो because lactose उसमें present नहीं है.
Okay.
So whey protein is a very cheap, comparatively cheap and easily accessible protein source that veg people can definitely include because majority of India is having more veg food than non-veg.
Yeah. मतलब daily life पे कोई even the non-veg people they are not having non-veg on a daily basis.
Yeah, exactly.
दाल चावल चाहिए.
दाल चावल या रोटी
सब्जी
चाहिए पर चिकन हर रोज
नहीं होता.
तो for those people I think having a protein powder or a supplement, protein supplement is easy, and just including that is going to change the way you think about food because you will not feel like eating. There are certain hormones that will start working in your favor ताकि आपको जो change elicit करना है will be a little easier, especially for people who are wanting to lose weight or for people who are wanting to build muscle, but they will at least have enough protein plus whatever food they're eating to get whatever result they want.
मतलब protein is non-negotiable.
Protein is absolutely non-negotiable.
So when it comes to go on.
Because what your body needs on a daily basis to repair itself is literally protein. मैंने बहुत बार बोला है कि ये सबने 4th स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ा है कि प्रोटीन इज द बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक ऑफ लाइफ. तो आप प्रोटीन क्यों नहीं खा रहे हो? कॉमन सेंस.
पढ़ता कौन है स्कूल में?
I guess कौन पढ़ता है? So that's the one thing that I would give anyone who is trying to make a change in their
Like it's a very basic change that people can start with.
absolutely.
कि प्रोटीन कंज्यूम करना शुरू करो और फिर जो चेंजेस है वो अगर चाहिए तो मुझे कॉल करो.
हाँ basically.
हाँ तो ओके नाउ मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. अभी मैं बहुत देख रहा हूँ लाइक आई एम इनटू द मार्केटिंग स्पेस राइट. सो आई ट्राई टू वर्क विद दीज ब्रांड्स एंड हेल्प देम ग्रो. So what I have been observing in this industry is mainly there are a lot of companies, there are a lot of startups who are coming with these protein rich healthy snacking options. Like don't consume the oil chips, potato chips, consume these are popped or these are baked. इसमें ये नहीं है वो नहीं है. But what's happening is like you just said, चौथी में सिखाया है that protein is the building block of our body.
Yeah.
अब वो चौथी में इतनी बेसिक चीज सिखाई हुई जब लोगों को पता नहीं है, then how are these companies supposed to make people aware that I shouldn't buy the 20 rupee packet of Lay's, but instead I should spend 20 rupees more and go with your 40 rupees packet of whatever जो भी company है. So how do you think these people, the masses, can be made aware कि these are the better options, or even if you think these are better options?
So पहले चीज तो the simplest thing that people should end up doing is read the label at the back, not the
another
masala in front of the packet. कि अरे ये Indian magic मसाला है तो Lay's तो बनता है, खाना चाहिए.
Another non-negotiable, read the label.
Yeah, another non-negotiable is yes, read the label, because आपको actually पता चलेगा कि ये food item में है क्या. Because what they are saying may just be like maybe 10% of the food item, but they are still promoting that. For example, it is sugar free, or what they are actually meaning is there are no added sugars in the food item. Sugar तो है. तो अगर आप diabetic हो, वरना आपके family में कोई diabetic है और उनको sugar free biscuit खाना है. Biscuit, what is it made of? Carbohydrates. Sugar. After a point.
हाँ, ये पता नहीं है लोगों को. People don't know these nuances, so that's why these companies do this sort of, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, like
it's just marketing
gimmick.
Yeah, gimmick. It's just a gimmick end of the day. जो आप खा रहे हो, my suggestion is आप ये सब देखो ही मत. आप जो organic whole foods, easily minimally processed foods खा सकते हो. Lot of snacking options, nuts are there. You will get full. You won't want to eat after one. You can keep having eggs. I'll be like a broken record कि आपको जो भी चाहिए उसमें आप प्रोटीन अगर डाल दोगे तो आपको भूख नहीं लगेगी. Because it's not easily consumable in large quantities. आपको भूख नहीं लगती तो आप मत खाओ. That's my basic sort of
suggestion. Definitely.
But if you are having any sort of junk food, fast food, whatever, chips जो भी है, know that it is not helping you. अगर खाना है because आपको मन कर रहा है, then sure, go ahead, I guess.
नहीं, but see अभी now because you mention कि मन कर रहा है, तो I am of the mentality कि मन कर रहा है तो कुछ भी करो, ये सबसे गलत चीज है.
Absolutely.
Right? So even when it comes to food, अगर मैं जा रहा हूँ, मुझे भूख भी लगी है, और अगर साइड में कोई वड़ा पाव वाला है and I get this aroma of fresh, समझ गया ना तू? पर फिर भी just because मेरा मन कर रहा है, I should realize कि no, it's not good for my body and I shouldn't have it. Maybe घर जाके मैं कुछ दूसरा कुछ बना के खा लूँ. Now even if it is जो घर जाके खाऊँ मैं सबसे healthy चीज नहीं होगी, but it's still not made in palm oil and made with all of these sugars and sodas. I'm still free of that now. So that's what I think. कि mentality is a huge factor when it comes to fitness. Like even if you, अभी हम बोलते हैं कि हमें jacked बनना है, we want to be like Hrithik Roshan and all of these fitness influencers. So even if it's not realistic, the common people who don't want such goals, they still have to be mentally resilient in some way. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Discipline is a huge factor in changing your current scenario, right? We don't wish for it and not work for it. Okay?
Exactly.
ये possible
Wishful
है.
thinking है वो.
Yeah, it's like if you're not executing on something,
Hmm.
you can't elicit change. So if you've been eating vada pav at 4 p.m. for all your life,
Hmm.
and now you realize, yo, I'm like ruining my health. I'm already whatever unfit and unhealthy from the inside also.
Hmm.
आपको change तो करना ही पड़ेगा. You can't have the foods that you've been having and expect to change your
Hmm.
current fitness or health scenario. So change to, of course, resilience, discipline, sacrifice, these are part and parcel of any change.
Hmm.
But as long as you don't perceive it as something negative, I think you can end up making those changes. It's just
Definitely.
about the mindset.
Definitely.
That's
And going back to my last point, so let's say I'm like मेरा example ले ले, because I like to munch on some snacks, not every day, but some कभी कभी लगता है. So what I do is I instead of preferring Lays or something like that, I go with these healthy options. इसमें लिखा है कि in this packet you will get 10 grams of protein, in this packet you will get 5 grams, 6 grams, 20 grams, whatever. So I try to go with these options. Now मैं as someone who's fitness enthusiast and a regular at gymming, and I was a sports person, so I know the importance of these products. But the majority of the audience, definitely they don't know about it. So what will you suggest from your standpoint? Because what you stand for and what these companies stand for, अगर उसका एक umbrella term देखा जाए, तो it's just promoting healthy habits, right? Even you want to do the same and they want to do the same.
Correct.
So what will you suggest them? For example, companies like Whole Truth, Tali Puffs, like they are doing a good job, according to me at least, because I am the regular consumer. But yeah, what will you suggest them? How to make people more aware of the fact that you need our products and not Lays and Kurkure?
I feel like the whole truth is doing a good job in terms of trying to educate their customers, because
The social media is great.
Yeah, social
The
media is great. In case Whole Truth is seeing this, please get in touch with Visualjox, because it's going to help you only.
Yeah.
I'm not being paid to say this.
No,
Or
not at
Vishal
all.
is paying me, I don't know. So Whole Truth does a very good job, at least compared to the rest of their competitors, with trying to educate their customers, because on their website they have a lot of like these, databases of what's good, what's not good, what we put in, what other companies put in, stuff like that. So if anyone is interested in knowing what they're eating, can easily research such things. They can go on Whole Truth or Google whatever is good for them and what's not, or they can get in touch with a nutritionist who can help them understand what is good or not. But for general public, of course, you should be away from foods that have high trans fats, high amounts of sugar. Coke is one of the biggest sort of enemies for any person, to be honest. Because Coke, Pepsi, जो भी है, because they're literally just
sodas
sugar.
in general.
Not necessarily, but Coke or Pepsi
Packaged
or
sodas.
Soda is not bad depending on what it is being
Achha, okay.
consumed as. So soda is Coke. You can think of it as Coke as well. But Coke, Pepsi, specifically, these are just liquid sugars, liquid
so
calories.
sugary sodas.
Yeah, liquid calories that you're consuming, and definitely walking towards that, diabetes scenario in your later life. It's not a good thing. People,
Not sustainable.
Yeah, people our age or younger are also getting diabetes because they've been over consuming highly sugary, highly palatable foods, and obviously it's not good for anyone.
Yeah.
So, like the most basic tip for anyone, your average consumer of whatever food item, is just to read the label, see how many calories.
And for the brands to put out as much as awareness as they can.
Absolutely.
Like I made a video recently. I don't know if I posted it, but yeah, it says that in order to promote any habit, so basically you're asking the consumer to change the habit.
Yeah.
कि तुम ये कंज्यूम करो, ये मत करो, वो करो. So it's like changing their habit. No matter how small of a habit, but it's still their habit. अगर हम दुकान में जाते हैं, हम 10 रुपए का लेस देख के खरीदने की इच्छा होती है क्योंकि we are familiar with the taste, we are familiar with the brand.
Yeah.
So if you want to promote changing habits, what you need to do the most is create an awareness, right? So why is their product bad and why is our product good? So that's what whole truth is doing in a very like fantastic manner.
In a much better way than
Yeah.
it's compared to.
So like I said कि मैं दिन भर में like midday I consume a protein bar or two. All of those bars are from whole truth. Because अभी होता क्या है, when you go out in the general market, you see a protein bar like 70 rupees, 75 rupees. You see the on the label 10 gram protein. So it's very enticing. मुझे 10 ग्राम हो जाएगा ना मेरा. When you flip it over, you see these all kinds of ऐसे नाम होते हैं कि normal human can't even understand. Like maltodextrin. What the hell is maltodextrin?
Absolutely.
पर मैं जब whole truth का पैकेट फ्लिप कर रहा हूँ, all I can see is dates, cranberries, whey protein, that's it.
Yeah.
So they're very transparent. So that's what these brands need to do, right? According to me at least.
Yeah.
The more the awareness, the more consumer base you're gonna get.
Correct. I agree.
So moving towards you, तुझे ये कब realize हुआ? Like when did it hit you कि okay, these are the changes I need to make? Definitely, I know you took that formal education, but like, can you just get us through like what did you go through and how did you learn about all of this, and what was the point you felt कि, for example, ऐसा भी हुआ रह सकता है कि you took all the formal education, but you still weren't executing it. So take us through that. Like, what was your journey?
So my journey of changing my health and fitness levels, I think it started in 2008-9. That time I had no idea what I was supposed to do. Like everyone, I started doing cardio because this was in school. I was being bullied for being fat. So I was thinking कि अभी what is required? Exercise. At that time I didn't know what weight training is. I didn't know what other fitness sort of exercises are. I just knew one thing, it was cardio, it was running. I knew running is going to help me get better. So I tried doing that. Didn't really efficiently work. Of course, I've changed a little bit. But I think from 2011 onwards or so, I joined the gym because my sister, she went to the gym and she lost like 40 something, around 40 kilos.
Oh.
So she literally.
मतलब कितना time में?
I think under 2 years, maybe less than 2 years.
So मतलब she was unfit and overweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we just grew up with. I mean, I don't regret it at all, but we grew up with food items that
खाते
really
पीते
not
घर
good for us.
के खाते पीते घर के basically
एकदम.
like the Indians like to say.
Yeah, we were eating everything that Indians love eating.
Huh.
So it bit us in the back very badly,
Huh.
and we both had to go through some change in order to just get better physically. So I joined the same gym that my sister was going to, and I happened to meet my brother-in-law over there, and he started guiding me with the right sort of approach to fitness, which was weight training and eating much better for sure. So whenever I used to have those very unhealthy subways, he would be like, "What the hell are you doing?
क्या खा रहा है भाई?
क्या खा रहा है यार?
सुधर जा अभी तो.
सुधर जा, seriously." And maybe 6 months after that, I knew that I was going to try and improve my standing in football
Oh.
because I was very passionate. And
When was that? When was that? How old were you?
I started playing football when I was like in 2000, after the World Cup in 2006,
अच्छा.
and I was like, मुझे तो इसमें ही career बनना है.
Okay.
So I started working towards it even more from like 2008-9 onwards, and 2011 was when I had gone for like a camp to Liverpool and Manchester, and I was like, ये तो जिंदगी मस्त है यार, पूरा दिन फुटबॉल खेलते हैं,
Okay.
खाते हैं अच्छे से, सोते हैं अच्छे से. So this is something that I would really.
That's what we all crave, as
Yeah.
especially as sports person. कि भाई
Exactly.
खेलो, खाओ, सो जाओ.
दो टाइम दिन में खेलना है.
हाँ.
Like what more can you ask for? 2 hours of playing twice a day is
हो गया दिन.
Awesome.
दिन पूरा.
वही. So I was like, ये मेरा जिंदगी हो सकता है. I would love to do it. So I started working to get fitter so that I could play for those 4 hours or train for those 4 hours a day. And I was going to do my sports management in the UK. So in order to get fit to play in the UK, I started training. I started lifting weights around 2011-12 under the guidance of my brother-in-law.
So तब तू यहीं था.
तब मैं इधर ही
You
था.
were just preparing to, you know, when you go for UK, वहाँ खेलने के लिए you were preparing.
Yeah.
यहाँ पे.
और because he was guiding me in a very good way, my brother-in-law, so I started falling in love with the process of getting fit.
Yeah.
So that process, I was obviously craving the end result of getting fitter, but I was enjoying the work I had to put in as well.
Exactly.
And that is obviously very important.
And definitely the journey matters more anytime.
Yeah.
Like even when we are going on a trip, अगर figuratively literally बोलने गए, even when we are going on a trip, we enjoy the journey more if there's, you know, good company and we are doing lots of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely the destination is worth it.
Yeah.
But the journey matters more, right? क्योंकि journey में मजा नहीं है, तो destination कितना भी अच्छा हो, we like it doesn't really matter.
Absolutely.
ये क्या हो गया?
Yeah.
ठीक है, हम आ गए यहाँ पे. It's like, the scenery is beautiful. Was it worth it? No, because why? The journey was bad.
Correct.
And even figuratively, like you said, you were loving the process.
Yeah. Like I feel like even in your field, you enjoy the process of doing all this, filming, shooting, photography, editing. The outcome just becomes a lot more fulfilling.
Yeah, and even if the outcome's bad, because I've loved the process, it doesn't, you know, bite me that much. It doesn't hurt me that much.
You just learn and you move on.
Exactly. And if it's good, तो फिर तो win-win है.
Exactly. It's a bonus. So I was loving the process of getting fit. I was loving lifting weights, and soon I started, you know, learning about anatomy, physiology. 2016, I did my certifications, and I started training people. But from 2011, 2012 to 2016, I was just falling in love with the process, repeating the same thing again and again and again, getting better at executing whatever exercises I was doing. And like football was definitely my first passion. Fitness, training, started climbing, and almost like equalizing.
Yeah,
with
it's always in synergy, right?
Yeah.
कि अगर तुझे कभी फुटबॉल में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं आता, तो तू उतना शायद तू फिटनेस सीरियसली नहीं लेता, because you had a motive. Like for example, मैंने जैसे बोला कि I was thin, so I realized कि okay, I need to be in shape because it's an impact sport. So I did it for football.
Yeah,
but now even if I don't play football anymore, I still go to the gym.
Correct.
क्योंकि वो एक habit बन
It's
गया.
become a habit. Yeah. So I was wanting to get lean and fit for football, and football though is still happening in life, but fitness is also still happening.
Yeah.
So it was a win-win in that respect. And yeah, I just started loving it so much that I was like, you know what, I would rather choose a life in the gym or on the pitch doing whatever I love compared to sitting in an office on a laptop in like the worst posture possible.
Yeah.
And like just mindlessly looking at some Excel sheet and reporting it to some manager of mine who I probably hate.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the journey, man. I loved doing everything in the gym and on the pitch compared to.
No, love it. Because see, that's what usually happens, right? We start with the sport. Like I hardly मेरे पहचान में ऐसा कोई है who hasn't played any sport in their childhood. ठीक है, कुछ ना कुछ होता है. क्रिकेट होगा, कबड्डी होगा, खो-खो होगा. Like where I came from, the school I studied in, खो-खो कबड्डी बहुत था. Volleyball होगा, or even football. So what happens is we start with this journey of being better at the sport, and as we move along, we realize कि नहीं, this is not enough. I need to add this. This is not enough. I need to add this. And along the journey, what we realize is कि if you had started with 10 people, वो betterment करते करते progress करते करते at the finish line there's only 2.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like separates the average from the greats. Yeah. And I'll just give you an example while we're at it. I had a coach. ठीक है, like he was my friend and also my coach. He was my friend first. He was the best friend of my brother. ठीक है, तो वो coach बन गया, and I was in 8th standard. So when I developed an interest for football, like people told me it was too late, but I always believed at least I can be good at it. यार, career होगा नहीं होगा किसने देखा, but I can definitely be good at it. Right? So I started coaching with this guy, and he was like 5 years older than me. तो मतलब कितना होगा? 18 years. And he had this dream of playing for India.
Oh.
इंडिया के लिए खेलना है, इंडिया के लिए खेलना है. आई रिमेंबर वन स्टोरी व्हेन वी वर सिटिंग इन अ कैफे और इंडिपेंडेंस डे का पहला दिन था. सो ऑन द 14th of August at midnight वी वर सिटिंग इन अ कैफे हैविंग आइसक्रीम. ठीक है, और वहाँ पे एट द स्ट्रोक ऑफ 12 नेशनल वंदे मातरम बजा.
Okay.
एंड दिस गाय वाज लाइक, अरे यार गूज़बम्स आ गया यार, बेंचो इसके लिए खेलने का है मेरे को, इंडिया के लिए खेलने का, स्टफ लाइक दैट. सो आई वाज फीलिंग प्राउड कि नहीं यार, this is the guy I look up to. Maybe because he's teaching me on the field, and off the field he's still talking about his ambitions for football and how he wants to achieve. But as you know, as time went on and I used to observe him, खुद पे कुछ ट्रेनिंग नहीं, खुद से कुछ ट्रेनिंग नहीं, खुद पे कुछ मेहनत नहीं. Okay, and what happened was वो कोचिंग में था, so the coaching thing was paying him, but certainly like you said, he wasn't enjoying the process. तो हुआ क्या, देन ही स्टार्टेड डूइंग इट फॉर द मनी. फिर वो 21 का हो गया, 22 का हो गया, फिर मुझे थोड़ा और अक्ल आ गया. लाइक आई वाज 16 17. सो व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू, आई यूज्ड टू पुश हिम कि भाई तू क्या कर रहा है, तेरा पेट निकल आ रहा है, तू फिट नहीं है, एंड यू आर सेइंग मी यू वांट टू प्ले फॉर इंडिया. बाय द टाइम यू आर 24 25 यू आर 22 ऑलरेडी, तू क्या कर रहा है. एंड इट यूज्ड टू हिट हिम. मतलब उसे रियलाइज होता था कि ही इज रॉन्ग समवेयर, ही हैज टू पुट इन द वर्क, ही हैज टू डू. But he never loved the process. Like you said, अभी तू आज भी अच्छे शेप में. You might not play football that regularly now that you are 28, but you still are in good shape. You go to the gym regularly. वो उसके साथ नहीं है. Now if you look at him, he's the same age as you, by the way. Now if you look at him, पेट निकला है. So he's unfit. So what happened was वो football में he could never make it in football, and he also never got in shape. So from a sports person's point of view, I will never respect him, if you look at it. So that's why I completely agree with you when it comes to the process part, when it comes to the journey.
I feel like you need good role models. Like,
yeah.
I know that you're reading Relentless.
Yeah. Well, he has gifted me the book, by the way, and he has gifted me this book Relentless about 6 months ago. और मैंने last week read करना शुरू किया है. ठीक है, I have to put it on the record.
So Relentless is very famous for the called Tim Grover.
Yeah.
He used to train
Michael
Jordan, the legends of any sport.
Yeah.
And like arguably Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete of all time in any sport period because of the work he put in.
Yeah.
And Kobe Bryant is someone who sort of expanded on the work being put in a very beautiful way.
Yeah, work ethic, discipline.
Work ethic,
like
discipline, enjoying the process. Mamba mentality is something that you need to inculcate in your life.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily mean कि तुम्हें sports person ही बनना है.
Yeah.
तुम्हें कुछ भी बनना है.
Exactly.
You need that mentality.
Exactly.
Like good that you mentioned that book. उसमें एक term है being a cleaner. So if you are an editor, edit it with that cleanliness.
Edit it with your 100%.
Exactly. So that's
your
what,
100%.
exactly. So that's what that cleaner term means, and I love that term so much, na. And yeah, from the thing that you mentioned, that your sister got you into this because she lost 40 kgs in 2 something years.
Yeah.
So it was really inspiring. Definitely, it's inspiring. So does it mean that your family plays a major role in whatever that you do? And can you just tell us how your family helped you in your career? And how it shaped you as who you are?
Yeah. So I think the work ethic and the love for, I think just do what you love mentality is definitely like passed down to me by my grandparents, both sides. My mom, especially my grandmom, my granddad, everyone has been super influential in sort of shaping what success and happiness is for me or for my sister or whoever. I feel like my whole family has been like this sort of these individuals who've been walking on the like beaten path. Like they are not doing what mainstream people would end up doing. My family is coming from like a Indian cultural background.
Yeah.
My family, my grandmom was a Padma Bhushan
And Padma Shri.
in because of her excellence in dance.
Yeah.
So she,
And just for the record, मैं इसको 4 साल से जानता हूँ and he never told me this. And when his grandmother passed away, I saw the ceremony that these guys had and I was shocked to the core. You know, realizing ki what was the stature and what was the respect that his grandmother had. So he never told me this. Just for the record, he's humble enough to not use his family's fame to get whatever he wants in his life. So yeah, please go on.
so my grandmom was a legend in Mohiniyattam. She did not do what normally women did back in the day, which was, you know, be a housewife or you know, work in some company. She literally created a college out of thin air and a lot of hard work. My granddad, he in his own right is a legend of cricket. He played Ranji Trophy. He also represented India a couple of times. He's played against Pakistan. His record on ESPN is like 57 per game, which is unreal, right? He's hitting half centuries for fun.
Yeah.
So he was a sportsman. My grandmom was following her passion, which was dance. My mom followed her passion, which was dance. My sister followed her passion, which was dance. Everyone has followed their passion, and everyone, one thing in common that everyone has had in their life, at least in my family, is that whatever they have done is done with like 110% effort and like chasing excellence.
Give it your all or don't do it at all.
Yeah, it's don't do it half-heartedly. It's do whatever you love, but with so much of dedication and so much of, you know, relentless desire to get what you want. That's just literally like baked into our head. So I think
So it was a no-brainer to, you know, for you to go with your passion, like for you to follow your passion, because
100%.
you intrinsically knew you had your family support.
Yeah, it plays a huge role for sure. I'm lucky enough to have this family and support, and you know, have them push me on in whatever it is I'm doing, and like they really encourage me to try things that I've thought I would like or I feel like I may be good at, and I know that a lot of people don't have that sort of privilege. So I'm really happy that my family supported me in anything and everything that I did, because they were, even if I failed, they were always there by my side and they're like, you know what, on to the next one, it's fine. So I think that plays a huge role in what I'm currently doing right now.
So you never had that feeling of going against your family. So you had that, because that's what usually happens in a lot of, you know, young kids.
Yeah.
Like मेरे life में भी, there was this point where when I wanted to pursue football, like I was going to go all in. You knew, right?
Yeah.
I got selected at those trials and it was like a turning point for me कि जब मुझे समझा कि actually I am good at it. Okay, I am good at it. I felt validated.
Yeah.
पर वो घर से कभी support नहीं आया, because there were some conditions. पर अभी मैं बच्चा हूँ. I was just 19 years old. So how am I supposed to understand my, you know, father's situation or my family situation? So I always had this feeling that I have to go against my family to pursue what I love. But it was never the case with you, right?
Thankfully, no. On average, every family or household wants their children to be doctor, lawyer, CA, engineer, but nothing else. But if you see these markets or these industries are so concentrated, like there's so much of like difficulty in even these sort of areas of life or these industries. They don't see anything else. They think that only these people are going to be successful. But here is an example of my family being successful in their own right, and also in other people, in society's perspective. Like, you know, we've excelled in everything, and money became a byproduct of this excellence. So it's not necessary that you find stability in these 4 or 5 sort of career paths. You find stability wherever you are good.
Exactly.
And wherever you can.
And more than stability, it's like it's about the fulfillment.
Yeah.
अगर तुम खुद को जो चीज पसंद है वो करके कम पैसा भी कमाओ, you're still content.
Yeah.
But if you hate the job you're doing and you're earning lakhs and lakhs of rupees,
Then at
you
50
can
you will realize कि अरे यार मैंने क्या
मैं
किया.
क्या किया? I can buy all the things that I want, but am I really content with what I've done so far? Is my legacy really worth it? No.
Is there a legacy?
Exactly.
That's another thing. And like Three Idiots has this like moral of the story is कि अगर तुम जो भी करते हो पर पूरे मन से करते हो तो पैसा झक मार के आएगा.
Exactly.
तो यही तो है. Like this is literally like.
And also all of the athletes that we look up to, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, name whoever, we look up to them because the passion that they had for their sport, not for the money that they have earned.
Absolutely.
अभी नेमार ने इतना पैसा कमाया, but who in these footballing space looks up to Neymar?
Not many.
Messi होगा, रोनाल्डो होगा, but who looks up to Neymar? मुझे नेमार जैसा बनना है. Because Neymar was incredibly talented. So we all knew कि नेमार जो skills कर सकता है वो कोई नहीं कर सकता. But nobody looked up to him. Why? We all loved Neymar for his game. भाई कड़क है ये सही है. Nobody looked up to him. मुझे इसके ऐसा बनना है.
Even at 38, Ronaldo is an inspiration for people half our age or even younger.
Exactly. So that's what so the longevity matters. Because if you look at it, Ronaldo at 21 years had some 25-26 goals. Okay, Messi had some 40-50 goals. I don't really remember. But Neymar had 120 goals. But who has had a more illustrious career? It's definitely Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so what I mean to say is it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is how far can you go?
Yeah.
Until how long can you sustain in the game? You can be in the game.
But yeah, my family is super important. I don't think I'd be where I am if it was not with their support.
Yeah. So it's a huge factor. And also, as I can see, it really means a lot to you that your family is so supportive. And they support every decision of yours.
Absolutely. I mean, they don't support every decision. They obviously kick some sense into me every now and then. I think something like some stupid idea that comes in my head. But they are always the ones who say, ki, don't just stop, try it out. And if you.
Yeah, and it's a very rare factor that you at least get to discuss your ideas with your family. It is not the case for a lot of us. We can't discuss all of our ideas with our family.
I am lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah. So, when it comes to fitness, gyms, weightlifting, stuff like that, so I have noticed a pattern. I came across Sebum's page. You know Sebum?
Yeah.
So
who doesn't?
So I came across Sebum's page and I saw his workout routine, the stuff he eats, what he consumes daily, क्या exercises करता है, उसका split कैसा है, weekly split. And I was suddenly motivated कि नहीं भाई ये तो सही है, I want to do this. And Sebum का chest workout देगा, now I'll hit chest. And not only hit chest, but I'll do the workouts that Sebum was doing. So and it turned out to be extremely wrong क्योंकि I suffered injuries. मुझे समझा कि मुझे तो ये exercise आती ही नहीं है. I don't know the proper form. So this is a usual pattern where we notice certain people जिनका body अच्छा है या जिनका lifestyle desirable है, and we try to copy their lifestyle, their workout routines, their fitness plans. वो क्या खाते हैं, वो क्या पीते हैं. Now the reason I started chicken was my fitness trainer told me to start chicken. या फिर he told me कि start eating chicken, so you'll get more muscles and तेरा body इसके सब बनेगा, इसके सब बनेगा. So what will you suggest to these guys who are just blindly following the influencers or all of these guys?
I feel like fitness and nutrition is very personal and very individualistic. It's not necessary that what works for me is going to work for you or anyone.
Yeah.
Everyone has to approach fitness and nutrition according to their goals. And their goals can be very, very different. If someone wants to get better at playing football, for example, they're not going to spend 6 days in a week in the gym. They will spend more time on the pitch to get better at the sport they want to get better at. But if someone wants to build a very, very aesthetic body, they're not going to spend 6 days a week running. They're going to spend 6 days a week probably training, lifting weights. So it is very, very individual, and you need to figure out what goals you want first and then work in that direction.
Yeah, so it's more about you, like what you are looking for when it comes to your fitness goals or your sporting goals.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
Whatever your goals are, your journey changes. You choose certain things that will help you get through that, not do what everyone else is doing.
And one more thing, this is a very crucial part, and this is one of the things that I notice on a daily basis, on a regular basis, and whichever gym I have been to, I have noticed these things. First, so whenever you enter a gym, okay, there are a lot of people who are doing a specific exercise in an extremely wrong manner, and the floor trainer doesn't care about it. Okay? What's your take on this? Should they care about it? Because the arguable point is that they are not being paid to train everybody personally.
Right.
They are just there to see if anybody gets injury. But isn't injury a thing which can be also,
Avoided?
No, injury ऐसा भी हो सकता है, but एक ही bench press में मुझे injury ना हो. But if I'm doing this same exercise in a wrong form for 2 weeks, so the injury, might तब होगा injury या फिर बढ़ेगा injury.
Absolutely.
Isn't this avoidable? And what's your take on this? This approach of these normal floor trainers and
Again,
gym culture.
I feel like floor trainers or trainers in general get a bad rep because obviously the general or the majority of trainers either are not doing it because they really like doing it or they are doing it just to earn money.
Yeah, for a living.
Yeah, they're doing it for a living and they are trying to play on the client or the trainee's sort of desires of lifting heavy weights and whatnot. But if you're not ready for it, then you don't do that. Simple. Like for someone who's just joined the gym or for someone who is a very beginner level trainee, you need to first focus on getting your fundamentals right and you need to really understand and educate yourself on form and technique and progression. It's a long game. You're not playing a game where you will see results in 2 weeks. So you lift heavy weights for 2 weeks, even though your body is not ready for it. It takes time. So you need to really master the basics of form and technique. Either look at YouTube videos online, because there are good YouTube videos on the internet. There are good YouTube videos that will explain form and technique. Or you hire a personal trainer, or at least get like a consultation with an experienced coach who can at least figure out where you're going wrong and give you proper advice.
But see, not everyone can afford it. Or what I feel is not everybody is aware about the fact that they need to learn what they want. You need to learn about form and technique and then join a gym. So what will you say? What's your take on the approach of these fitness trainers? So should they be ignored when it comes to normal audience? अगर मैं ऐसा हूँ जिसने नया join किया है gym, ठीक है, और मुझे कुछ नहीं पता. So should I look up to the fitness trainer because all that ends up is him misguiding me?
Right. I feel you need to build awareness and keep sort of filtering out the wrong people.
Yeah.
Because inevitably you will come across people who give you really bad advice.
Yeah.
And either through experience or through just general knowledge, you will probably not follow it in the future.
And that's just not for the gym, guys. So in generally, मतलब मैं भी ये बोलते रहता हूँ on my Instagram or wherever I can, like try to be aware of the fact that what's wrong and what's not, and try to filter out people.
Correct.
Don't be with someone just because you vibe with them. अरे सही है ये वो. Like, try to understand, like, is this guy or is this girl doing any sort of value addition in my life?
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Exactly. And similar with the fitness trainers, right? If they are not adding any knowledge in your life related to training, which is their main job, and you have to realize that those are not the guys you should look up to when it comes to building your physique and hitting your fitness goals. Which
Gain awareness first.
Yeah, and which brings me to my next point is that maximum scenario India mein, I don't know about outside, any gym you go to, let's say there are 6 fitness trainers, 5 of them are fat.
Yeah.
Have you made this observation?
I have. Yeah.
And so फिर what is the credibility?
There is none. So you need to also find someone who is actually formally educated in this. If they're not, which majority of the times they're not, they will not lead you the right way and you will not get the result you're looking for and you will not make any changes. So probably doing background checks on the trainers or the coaches that you are coming in contact with is a very good idea. And if you are looking to actually make or understand and grasp whatever training, fitness knowledge, then it's best to reach out to people who actually have
and
experience
also
in that.
like there are a lot of good influencers and good fitness educators who are present online. You know, always listen to them, right? क्योंकि मैं जो पिछला जिम जाता था, I shit you not, Gold's Gym का franchise था, ठीक है? I had joined Gold's Gym and I paid huge money for it because I thought कि अच्छा रहेगा भाई. When I entered the gym, no kidding, 12 trainers थे, flow trainer, personal trainers मिला के. 2 लोग fit and everyone else had this, you know, dad bod or क्या उसको बोलते, beer belly. I don't know the terms, but yeah. So I can't get my head around the fact that, you know, the people we look up to when we enter the gym and, you know, expect them to guide us workouts के बारे में, वो they themselves aren't fit.
Unfortunately, it's the sad truth, but you see that in multiple industries. You see so many people who are doing, for example, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Providing digital marketing services and giving zero output. Who's better, who you would know how these people are performing. There are so many companies that have hired digital marketers and have got nothing out of it.
And they have paid huge money for it.
Exactly. And then there's you, where you actually see a lot of change because this guy has helped me out a lot in terms of creating videos.
Formality, yeah, बस ये script में नहीं था.
He's not paid me for this, but like because of him, I got more like comfortable to be on camera, to edit videos myself, to record and see lighting. I would run things by him, and he would give me so much of like advice, and it actually worked. Like I think people started realizing, oh shit, like there's like good quality content coming out, but it's all thanks to this guy.
And just basic tweaks ना, मतलब ऐसा कुछ major change भी नहीं किया हमने. We were still recording on the same phone. Now definitely we recorded some reels on the camera, but we did nothing that from something that wasn't available.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to say कि trainers हो तो देखो कौन से trainers अच्छे कौन से नहीं. And the very basic filtration technique is that look at which trainers are in shape.
And who's providing results.
हाँ.
And who's providing results in any industry.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a quick fire round for you, Nikunj. ठीक है? Let's try to keep it as quick as possible.
Let's go.
ठीक है? Gym or cardio?
Gym.
Bench press or deadlifts?
Deadlift.
If you had to choose one thing, what would it be? Highest paid fitness trainer in the world or an athlete that people look up to?
An athlete that people look up to. For sure. 100%.
Sure. And what was this? What would be the sport?
Football.
Night or Luna?
I can't choose, man.
No, you have to.
I can't. No.
Okay, so both.
Both.
Bombay Salad Co. or Farmer's Cafe?
Farmer's Cafe.
Really?
I love the pizzas.
Achha. The 3 most important things in your life?
Family, football, faith.
Faith, not fitness.
Faith in yourself.
So 3 F's. Okay. One fitness tip for the normal people. Make it as short as possible.
You can do bodyweight exercises at home and not have to run 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 2 hours in a day, and you will get probably better results.
Perfect. So it was nice having you, Nikunj. This was a really great podcast. I hope you guys love it. Okay? Let's do one more soon because
100%.
There's a lot that we need to talk over. मतलब ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है.
Honestly, we can go on for a long time.
Yeah. तो 4 साल जिसकी दोस्ती चल रही है, if you just give them an hour or 2, क्या ही होगा भाई?
Hour or 2, we can easily go for a lot more.
Day or 2.
Yeah, आराम से.
ठीक है. So see you soon, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. Do give it a like, subscribe for more such exciting episodes and more such cool guests like Nikunj. See you guys. Bye.
I'll also say something. I'm really happy to be on this podcast with Vishal. He made it very comfortable. Madan also has helped a lot.
Yeah.
He's behind the camera.
Yeah.
He needs to become a personality online as well.
Yeah,
he needs to be sitting here as well.
Yeah, I've been suggesting him to to get started with his own content, just like I suggested you to make more and more editing videos, stuff like that. So.
Because both these guys, Vishal and Madan, are like awesome people to
Yeah.
get in touch with.
ये भी स्क्रिप्ट में नहीं है. इनफैक्ट देयर वाज नो स्क्रिप्ट. ठीक है, देयर वाज नो स्क्रिप्ट. हाँ, कुछ नहीं है भाई इसमें, बस क्विक फायर के क्वेश्चन से.
So yeah, these two guys have helped me a lot over the past, I think, half a year or more now.
Yeah.
And they were the ones who helped me start my fitness influencer journey, and they've helped me a lot in just editing and scripting videos and learning how to present myself.
Yeah,
on
because
camera.
he has immense knowledge in whatever he's doing, and it should be put out to the world. So that's the basic thing, right? That's what I stand for. I stand for growth, guys, and I want him to grow.
Yeah.
So it's obvious.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. In case you have any more questions, please reach out to Vishal.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to be the guest on our next podcast, drop us an email and we'll see if we can work something out. Okay? I'll see you guys in the next episode. Like, subscribe. Okay, bye.